Hey everyone, welcome back to class. Today we're going to focus solely on downward facing dog. It's part of my beginners series where I break down some of the poses that we cover typically in a regular class that we do over and over again. And if you're new, if you're not sure of the correct alignment or if you're not sure of particular modifications that you can take, the poses can just not feel so good, and I want you to get out of that place and start to really enjoy the poses. So coming onto your hands and knees, and you're going to spread your fingers wide. So that's step one. Spread your fingers wide, as wide apart as you can, and then you're going to ground down through your palms and the whole of your hands, so your fingers, your knuckles, so your hands are really rooted into the ground. What can happen is when you come into downward facing dog, you can slip. So if you have a slippery mat, you just might want to grab a towel or something that's going to allow you to really ground down into the earth. Then you're going to tuck your toes under. We're going to take this in stages. So this is stage one. You're going to tuck your toes under and you're going to lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling as high as you can. And as you do that, you're going to push your hips to the back of your room. So that's what we're going to do. You're going to keep your knees very bent for this first variation. Tailbone tilting up as high as you can, and then your hips are pushing to the back of the room. Now what you want to do is you want to push your chest and your heart towards your thighs and relax through your head and your neck. And then there's an action of your heels grounding down, but you're going to keep your knees very bent here for this first one. Drawing your shoulders down your spine. And then you're going to breathe. So make sure you're not coming into downward facing dog and you're kind of grinning and bearing it and holding your breath. You want to breathe long, full, deep breaths so your body eases and relaxes into the stretch that it's encountering. Hold it for 3 more breaths. And then start to lower down onto your hands and knees again. So that is step one. And if you're someone that has very tight hamstrings and calves, then you'll want to stick with that variation for at least a little while so that you can start to open and increase the flexibility of the backs of your legs, but you're not compromising the beautiful long spine that we're looking for in downward facing dog. So for example, if you're straightening your legs, grounding your heels down to the ground, but you're quite tight through that area of your body, then it probably will look like more like this, where you have to bring your weight forwards into your arms and you can't really get your hips high and you can't get your tailbone lifting up. And so it's kind of more like a plank and you've got your weight in your arms, and that's really, really challenging. And so what you want to do in order to be able to send the weight back, you're just going to bend your knees. So bend your knees, tailbone tilting up, heart towards your thighs, grounding down through your hands. And then once you practice that for a little while and the backs of your legs start to open, then you can start to straighten the legs and ground your heels down towards the mat. So coming back up, and you'll just want to, I really love to pedal out through the legs. So you'll bend one knee and you'll ground your other heel down towards the ground, and you'll just start to feel a really deep, juicy stretch through your calf. And then you're going to switch all the while. You're taking your long, deep breaths. It's very important. Good, a couple more. And then coming back to center with both knees bent, you're going to find that action once again. Tailbone tilting up. So there's a forward rotation of your pelvis. Tailbone tilting up. Hips shift to the back of the room. ground down through your hands so your arms are stretching and pushing you back, and then you can start to straighten your legs. Now, it doesn't matter whatsoever if your heels don't get to the ground. It's very likely that they won't. You just want that action of them moving towards there. You're going to breathe, and then the last little cue I want to give you is to hug the pit of your belly in and up. Let's take 3 more breaths together. And then back down onto your hands and knees to release. So, although it looks like a pretty simple pose, and really in yoga it's seen as a resting pose, there's a whole lot going on. There's a whole lot of different little alignment cues that you need to make in order for the pose to feel good in your body. So if you're new to yoga, you're new to downward facing dog, stick with it. Try to do this pose a couple times or as many times as you can every single day. In the beginning, it might not feel so good. Your arms might shake, the backs of your legs might be screaming at you, but I promise you stick with it and it will soon start to feel really, really nice. Your body will start to crave it. So I really hope this helps. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel for weekly videos. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more. And yeah, stay tuned for the next pose in this series. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.